Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com Broiler Chicken Show. Trade your trading plans. Don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Broiler Chicken Show. Woohoo! Party, party, party. Woo, man, am I ever excited this broadcast. And geez, I don't usually get this excited, but wow, I just over the top stoked. Oh man, just wait till we got it. What I'm going to show you here today. It's going to blow your minds. So awesome. Welcome to the frivolity. I always have to remember that Chris put together a really nice little intro piece, so I don't need to go through that whole welcome to the show stuff twice. But I always forget, or maybe I just love saying it. Woo, party! Anyway, wakey, eggs and bakey. All right, so super excited for today's broadcast. Of course, it is. I don't know whether it's post Black Friday or Cyber Sunday. Is that a thing? Cyber Sunday? I thought it was Cyber Monday or something like that. I don't know. Hopefully all you Americans are nursing your turkey hangovers, tryptophan and all. Enjoyed the football games. My poor old USC. Oh, those Trojans. Man, they're having a tough time of it this year. But oh well. If anything, oh God, I hate they played Notre Dame yesterday, and I hate when they lose to Notre Dame. But anyway, I gotta say, I am so over the top impressed with USA Inc. right here. The stars are aligning. Oh my goodness. And actually putting the newsletter here together today for all of you. Chris just being an awesome assistant as always. We were joking a little bit about Roosevelt and something about the Rothschilds. I'm not quite sure how that went. Chris, do you want to tell them about our conversation?
I'll let you decide if you want to tell that story. You can only you can tell it the way that you tell it.
I definitely think that the winds of change are blowing, thank heavens. It was beautiful to see how my dear leader was completely humiliated at Mar-Lago yesterday, basically going there with his tail but between his legs, trying desperately to curry favor with Mr. Trump. And Mr. Trump, huge Mar-a-Lago estate, tons of lush pageantry, probably like king size beds and what do they call them, like the tiger claw bathtubs and all that. And Mr. Trump wasn't even going to extend him an invitation to stay the night. Mr. Trudeau, like a doofus that he is, had to go and find a Best Western hotel around the corner to stay in, which I thought was beautiful. I suppose I wouldn't even be surprised if Justin here, which is a little scary, but it would not surprise me if Justin haters here are actually tracked down by the Canadian Secret Police. And it wouldn't shock me to see him go down the road of like Fidel Castro kind of thing here. And a lot of people actually think that Fidel Castro is actually his father. So anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But it struck me as absolute poetic justice. What's happening to you all know, of course, any of you that have taken my education program are fully aware of my absolute conviction about these 17 and a half year fear greed cycles. How we basically headed into a greed cycle in 2018. We had a very conveniently manufactured crisis there to try and encourage the American public to take on ridiculous amounts of debts to bail out all these zombie companies. I did hear somebody recently say, that's actually not a very nice thing to say, Brian, relative considering all the people that did pass away through the whole sickness. I'm not talking about people being sick and passing and being ill. And keep in mind, a lot of people on an annual basis die from the flu bug anyway. So I'm certainly not at any point here whatsoever uh, um, under appreciating the fact that people lost their lives. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that one bit. What I don't like and what I didn't like about all that was how the American public, because keep in mind, the American public is the only thing that's really keeping this world economic engine going. I mean, you see what's going on in China right now. What a joke. And interestingly enough, when you actually look at the econs, I think that basically this is what you're going to have to get used to out of China for the next little while. I mean, just absolutely stunning underperformance from their GDP. This is what should have happened, except there was like just a total bullshit, phony baloney bubble, tofu dregs construction, all that kind of crap. That just kept the stupidity going and going and going. And that's what happens in totalitarian dictatorships, because nobody's going to say boo because they're going to have their head chopped off if they do say boo. So the thing keeps going and going and going until you get to actually a tipping point where just nature takes over and the whole damn thing collapses like a house of cards. And I hate to say it, and actually I love it, to be perfectly honest with you. I absolutely love it. Mr. Trump, and I hope he has the balls. We also are conjecturing around TRI, especially one American who is one of our OGs who I highly, highly respect, who is very concerned that Mr. Trump's probably not going to be able to live through all of this. And can he actually even get to Inauguration Day without these bankster bastards murdering him? Fingers crossed for Mr. Trump. And the irony of it all is I'm not even really that big of a fan. I think the guy's a jerk, and I mean, he's arrogant as what. So it's certainly not like I'm a fan of him. But what I am really a fan of, and like Chris here, for example, is an American citizen. Julian, my business partner, he's an American citizen. A lot of TRIers are American citizens. It's actually for you American citizens that I'm rooting for all of this, because I personally believe that, Justin here with his over-the-top communism, socialism, printing money like it doesn't matter. Well, he's going to find out that actually it turns out that economics do matter. And he's painted this country in an absolute disastrous situation here. If anything, us as sort of like, us being involved in crypto, I like the idea that we are basically citizens of the world. I love, I did like going down to Central America there last winter, over in Europe. I love going over to Europe and visiting good people there. Suppose it's probably long overdue for me to head over to Asia and stuff, although that's such a long trip. I am telling I'm very, very close to pulling the trigger here, though, on a deal down to do a real estate development in Hawaii, which I really like. And then maybe that gives me my stepping stone to head over to Asia. But a warning to all of you, for God's sakes, if you can, hedge yourself out of these commodity nations. Believe it or not, we're not even halfway through this negative cycle, right? These cycles, everything that we teach in our education programs, they usually last about somewhere between about 17 and 20 years. And we are officially 5 or 6 years into this cycle. So that means we still have well over a decade of this carnage to be seen in countries like Canada, Australia, Russia, South Africa, and really any of the nations that fancy themselves commodity suppliers to these economic engines. And things like Mr. Trump coming along and saying, you know what, You either build it in the United States of America, you employed American citizens. Thanks to Mr. Biden, who knows if there's going to be a few illegals in the mix as well. But you keep the money inside the United States of America. I think that that's an excellent idea. And if you don't want to build inside the United States of America, fine. Your products and services get hit with a substantial tax. And this is going to be in the form of what they call tariffs, to incentivize you to get your manufacturing and your production inside the United States of America. Because I believe that is working on behalf of U.S. citizens. And I'm rooting for people like Chris. You know, he is a U.S. citizen. You've seen what the standard of living that's happened to my country when these politicians can just run roughshod. And then the question ultimately is the politician that's in charge of my country right now even working for Canadians? And frankly speaking, I don't think he is. He's literally taking his orders from the international banking cartel. That family's name, of course, you all know it. You're very familiar with it. Starts with an R. And they've basically been raping the world for the past 500 years. And they're trying very desperately. The sad thing is that the Democrat Party, because they want to spend more money than they have, they literally become beholden to these banksters. Please give us more money or lend us more money. There's no fucking way the banksters are going to give you money. And of course, lending at interest. And that's like I made a joke earlier with Chris here about how basically Mr. Roosevelt started this world that we live in. I think it was all colluded and planned coming out of the Great Depression. And basically since that time, our entire society is basically at the mercy of these banksters. And I think Mr. Trump's trying to sort of level the playing field a little bit. Sadly, Mr. Reagan tried to do exactly the same thing in 1980. He even went on Johnny Carson, you know, which is a fairly well-known, in fact, probably one of the reasons why he actually won the presidency, and just basically said then sort of the ex-California governor, and keep in mind at that point, the states were not allowed to run budget deficits. I mean, I don't know what the hell California's turned into nowadays, but anyway, I'll let Adam over there comment about his great state and the situation there right now. But Mr. Reagan went on Carson and said, let's try and start living within our means, right? And of course, the banksters took a poke at him and reminded him who was in charge. Following that event, basically, he just sadly turned coattail, or what's the term? Anyway, complete 180 and abandon his whole sort of fiscal responsibility platform. Let's see if Mr. Trump can do it. I really like the idea that he's going to use the tariffs to try and undo this absolutely insane deficit that the Americans are running right now. And if he can do that, then that will solve a lot of the problems. Also, too, of course, if you're a fan of Alan, then and I don't think it's an accident that actually these kind of things are coming through here now. Keep in mind, Alan, of course, running dog money. And actually, we'll even talk a little bit about dog money in a bit. But more importantly, SHIB money, if that is a thing. But it is interesting to see there are some very interesting wheels that are being put into motion here that not only correspond so very, very nicely with this, our crypto season here. And actually, my tweet out today was, I hope you're ready for this because we are now fully into crypto summer. We've made our official transition here. Actually, it's not the screen, it's the screen. Yeah. We've now made the transition from spring into summer. And of course, if you're a fan, maybe you're not a fan of crypto, but you're a fan of well, really all this is about is, when does the Fed and the bankster crooks want to encourage the economy to grow versus them sitting on the economy and wanting it to contract. And we are now officially, you can either use, and I think we'll probably be using this for as long as I'm talking to you in the public, and I'll be using this as just my own reference going forward forever until the good Lord lets me rejoin my wife. I hope I can join her again. Sure hope I get to see you again, sweetie. Sure miss you. Anyway, point here is this roadmap, I think, absolutely perfect. And this is basically what we have in front of us. And then after the fact, you're going to see prices lift all the way up top, and you're going to go, well, how on earth did that happen? And I might argue, the weird thing is they always say you can't write better fiction than reality. You just can't. It's impossible. But we might look back and go, well, actually, it makes perfect sense why this all happened. And then what's really interesting about this is at the same time, too, the stock market people, I think what they're doing is they're actually looking at crypto, right? When we look at our trading economics page, you notice that right now, if we look at the commodity markets, nothing's happening. We look at the indexes. I mean, it's the weekend, but there's crypto just trading away, doing its thing. And I think a lot of people are kind of like, well, if crypto's doing it, why can't the rest of us? So I think eventually what you're probably going to find happen, number one, is probably most of these stocks will actually transition themselves to blockchain. And use the blockchain technology to settle everything. I mean, God, we've got 10 years of data now. Bitcoin blockchain works perfectly fine for this. And I wouldn't even be surprised at all real estate transactions. I've told you all that I fully believe that by time this whole interneting thing is built out, and what does the crypto influence on the interneting and all that look like, I think by time this is all built out, every single one of you, including me, including Chris, including Glass Insights, whether he likes it or not, including you, Adam, Brian, Charles, Nazar, Eddie, Ghost 88, if that is your real name, Bart Simpson. Anyway, DDBB, Noah Ray, all of you. Everybody's going to have an ID on the blockchain, whether you like it or not. And we really technically already do, right? In my country, they call it social insurance number. In Chris's country, they call it a social security number. I mean, technically, what's the difference? And how far of a jump is it for that number to basically be on a blockchain somewhere, and everything that you do in your life? When you pulled that puppy's tail, when you were 5 years old, that will be recorded and it will be held against you for the rest of your days. And heaven forbid we ever get some stupid woke politician who looks like a total idiot and the offspring of a totalitarian dictator from a Caribbean country, you know who I'm talking about, comes along and says something like, well, I believe puppies have the same rights as all humans. So anybody who's ever pulled a puppy's tail in their life, instantly you go to jail. All right. And I don't know. Who knows? Probably in our society, it won't be you go to jail. It will be your bank account is frozen. And so you're basically sent to purgatory in this digital world where everybody and everything is tracked. So anyway, I mean, I don't know whether that's an optimistic way of looking at the world in a weird sort of way. I mean, I think the banksters absolutely love this because there's a lot of the economy that simply operates outside of the banking system, which also means outside of the taxation system. So in a weird sort of way, the narrative of getting everybody on the blockchain and every single thing, you notice that, like in my country right now, basically cash they're trying to get rid of cash from the system and really encourage you not to use cash anymore. Everything is done by debit card nowadays. And of course, you're encouraged to use credit cards and and I really, this is a nasty part of capitalism. I don't like how they sort of like bait people into using these credit cards with the cash back nonsense and all that, because they, once somebody gets into a financially difficult situation and they've sort of grown accustomed to using the credit card, that's where bad things happen. And me personally, in fact, I had a conversation with a banker the other day, and I said, I was just curious. I wanted to, oh, by the way, my local bank here, it was kind of funny on the site. We were joking about how they are trying to debank me. And then I told him I've got, I don't know, a few $100,000 at that particular bank. And I said, if you don't get this account resolved basically today, I've already gone and opened up a bank at another bank. I'm prepared to move the entire account here tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, oh boy, their tone sure changed. So maybe if you have a bunch of assets, they act one way with you. If I had no assets and I had a mortgage with them, my hunch is that they would probably be quite a bit less friendly. But anyway, I was having this interesting conversation with this bankster, and I was just curious, can you give me a quote on a mortgage? What's it going to run me? Because of course, you all know I want to buy this house for my son. And I've got, anyway, that's here nor there. It doesn't really matter. I'm not quite sure why I mentioned that. But anyway, so what I would just simply say is actually I'm quite pleased and pretty impressed with Mr. Trump's sort of action so far. And I think on balance, he is going to basically reiterate this idea that the US dollar should reign supreme here for the next probably 10, 15 years at my hunch here is if he survives, and let's all, like I said, I don't know whether he can survive or not. You saw how blatant they were at trying to murder him. I don't see any reason why they won't do it again and again and again until they succeed. But I would say that he's pointing the United States Inc., right? The company of the United States of America. I think he's pointing it in a very, very positive direction for his country. And I guess sadly, I don't think that the Democrats actually work for the US citizens. I think that they work more for the international banking cartel. I think it's in the US citizens' interest to try and like wrestle back control from the international banking cartel. And these tariffs are a very interesting way for him to try and go about doing this. What I do see potentially happening here, though, is I do think that these tariffs are going to send the world economy into either recession, but I think actually countries like Germany and, like I showed you, China here. I mean, it's interesting. Look at the headlines. China factory activity grows for second month. Like, that's the headline? Oh, did you not mention the fact that technically their GDP is like not growing at all? In fact, actually, this looks like Canada's GDP. It's the same damn thing. I mean, it's an absolute joke. What's really interesting, of course, is they're actually, and I'm not quite sure how this works, their inflation rate is 0.3%. How on earth are they running a 3% interest rate if their inflation is 0.3? Something doesn't make sense about any of this at all. I also thought it was really cool. And I think that China is actually trying to play both sides of the game here, which of course makes perfect sense. They're crooks. They're basically mafia. They'll do whatever they can to make sure that they get enriched and stay in power. So there is this funny little nonsense that they're barking about this BRICS. I mean, I think Russia is absolutely in disaster central. Man, history is just so against Mr. Putin here. I mean, maybe he's going to win this conflict with Ukraine, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the actual country itself. They'll probably take Donbass and some of the other territory that he's quote unquote liberated. But it's probably going to have to be one of these, well, we'll give you back Kursk if you get the fuck out of that, right? And some sort of negotiation here. having said that, the Russian economy is an absolute disaster. And I like the idea that Mr. Trump's going to come along here and drill, baby, drill, which should actually drive the oil price into the ground. And that will fuel the sort of low inflationary cycle that we should be in here for the next little while. But I think that once he gets out of office, because keep in mind, after 2028, there isn't really a hell of a lot more Mr. Trump can do. I do think that the end of this decade is going to be really, really crazy. So, in a weird sort of way, to sort of put this all into a nice little package for you, maybe you've seen this before, I don't know. For God's sakes, and great that our site is actually the #1 hit for the Benner cycle. Way to go, Josh. You fucking rule. The message here is you have got to make as much money as you possibly can through this window, right? It's the end of 2024 now. And we know, right, the cycle turned there in 2023. Remember, get your shit together, all that crap, right? So we know that we are in this growth part of the cycle, and you've got to make as much money as you possibly can into this 2026 peak. We've done lots of Bitcoin and crypto analysis. I think, the research that TRI does is second to none. This is not just Brian Beamish talking. This is the entire community all working together. These fib time studies, I think, are solid. And I don't see any reason why our crypto seasonal study should be any different. And notice this is basically into the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026. Long and short of it here is, this is our window. If you want life-changing events, and keep in mind, this is on a log scale, right? Do I need to show you what a regular scale looks like? That's what it looks like. But to keep these conversations going here, and so you can understand, I think it's probably easiest just to keep this on a log scale. And I see absolutely no reason whatsoever why we can't see, 200 plus our bot objective here. And this is sort of assuming that we just keep sort of climbing the wall of worry, and a trend line tag of basically just previous cycle peaks. I don't see any reason why we can't rally up and tag $300,000 on Bitcoin. And I do think, in an interesting way, I think that Mr. Trump actually here is going to start putting like policies into motion that are going to encourage this bull. And then, when we actually get to, here's another perspective from the weekly tweet, there is the bot entry level. So my hunch here is that this bot itself is going to sort of set itself up as we go through. Right now we're in a part of the cycle here where usually, and this is like how are we doing on time? All right, thanks, sir. I got to stay on schedule because we got a lot of really cool stuff for you guys to check out here today. I don't know whether this is the way that I was going to do this, but 3 things that I wanted to try and accomplish today. First off, talk, of course, a little bit about market state and the broader economy, which I think we're talking about with Trump and the politics and all that crap. And sort of what he's doing here to set up. Whoop, now this is gone. I don't know what the hell this crap is. What happened? I guess these guys kill the news thing if you don't subscribe right away. I'm not quite sure. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. SEC approves America's. I thought that was an interesting development through the weekend. Of course, I thought that was a very interesting development through the weekend. In a weird sort of way, you can sort of see how the coming bull market is actually sort of getting its footing here. Also, too, not a bad idea. We just reviewed Mr. Benner. in the cycle where we are right now. So, I hope you have your shit together, because this is it, folks. And if you didn't, maybe it'd be a good idea to get your butt into the school. Level 1 will set you up to be a little old lady. You can get that done here by March. I actually think that the next buying window for crypto, actually, maybe that's a good segue. The next buying window here for crypto, I think, is through the March, supposed to be eclipses coming here, and of course coal. Where are we here? March. Where's March? This March? Yeah. Cole's been warning us that there's a whole bunch of celestial events here. In fact, actually, even right now, we're going through a really important celestial window of I think it was about 5 different planets all aligning here in our solar system. I showed everybody on Friday that image. Oh, by the way, if you are watching this, we'll probably be bringing Brian's public broadcast to a close here once we finish the Black Friday sort of promotional. And if you want to enjoy the stylings of Brian through the week, maybe consider joining the site, even our basic site membership. You can come and see me talk here Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays on the site. So anyway, point of the matter here is I did like the idea that through sort of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, we would do relatively okay. I mean, if anything, it does make sense why we had that pullback late last week, because, as Joey's getting ready to have Thanksgiving dinner with the family, you don't want Bitcoin going absolutely crazy ape shit higher, because then he'll look really foolish at the Thanksgiving dinner table with his family. So I think that half the reason why they engineered that pullback through the latter part of the week was to sort of, help Joey out at the dinner table. And as you can see, the selling just not getting any traction here whatsoever. Yes, technically that is an inside bar, but I wouldn't put a lot of credence into that just yet. And if anything, a couple big targets for me are floating out here, and I can't see why they shouldn't be hit. First off, of course, big fat round number, 100 G's. And if anything, the fact that the market is just so resilient in here just goes to show how significant that 100,000 mark is. Chris was pointing out earlier, the Bitcoin futures actually did trade to 100,000, beg your pardon. You could argue that they kind of had to take a bit of a break. There was the 100,000 move. And you can see things were coming off. Interesting. We had painted some downside targets. This is the parking garage going the other direction, a bearish one. Sure enough, 200% had to get tagged. We could probably also do like a Foggenbaum off of this top here. Boo-ba-da-boo. And then go chaos. Oh, we already have it on the screen. What a knucklehead. All right, so boom, 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 boom. 2.618. It's usually a pretty good sort of initial objective for corrections with Foggenbaum. And, if I'm trading futures contracts, I love using that 2.618 as a profit objective. Where's the hell's the little drawing tool thing? Hey, let's do that right there. So there is 2.618, stands out pretty well. And of course, horizontal support and resistance, and also 2 parking garage. So it really shouldn't surprise us that the market had to oscillate around this level and actually even accept it away from it. Notice also too, look how they actually left a gap right at that level. Look at, they actually left a gap down here as well. So anybody that's worked with me over time, and of course level 2 concepts, so we teach this in the school, what is the statistical probability that that hole will be filled in at some point in the not too distant future? You all know the answer to that. And look at how close that is to that 2.618. So if I was going to have like a technical objective for some sort of pullback here, my hunch is right into that. We also have another one. It looks like a little bit lower. So you could see that the futures boys just sort of like drive the market down here, but all they're going to be doing is just driving it into support. And what do you think the odds are that if we did a fib off of that, this is going to be our reload zone? Probably pretty good. Boobity boo, boobity shmoo, boobity coo, boobity boo. 78.6. You know, Brian, he absolutely loves 78.6s. So if there is a violent, sharp pullback here, I would actually consider that a really nice buying window. And if anything, the more violent the move is, probably the better. If the market just sort of like slowly grinds its way lower here, then I would be like, oh boy, be careful. But if we just go right, actually that would probably set up a pretty sick ass trade. Anyway, we'll see what happens. My hunch here, though, is if anything, I kind of like this. Bottom end of the range, top end of the range. And right now, the market is consolidating. And, you know, considering, what do you call this guy? Cole, he's got a fun name for him. I can never remember what it is. Cheeto Jesus, something like that. Mind you, he's not really orange anymore, though. He's kind of like, I guess in his old age, he's going gray. But, you know, Cheeto Jesus comes out with some over the top. Oh, actually, this is a different market. Over the top news about, killing regulation and taxes and stuff on crypto. And geez, you could see this whole market just explode higher. And this does bring up an interesting point in that now the question is, where the hell do I have this? Not here. Over here? Nope, not over here. It's my stock market page, wherever that is. Not that one, not that one. Maybe this one? Over here? Yeah. So this brings up an interesting, notice Litecoin really coming to life. And things like the crypto total market cap, woohoo, just flying here. And if we take Bitcoin and Ethereum out of the question, woohoo, Bitcoin flying or crypto flying here. Right. And I think this has something to do with, Cheeto Jesus. I think I got his name right. Talking about, basically exempting some of these cryptos from taxes. And the good part about it is, of course, we got in on these names. And we've already, established risk-free trades. Always love doing that. Now it's just a question of where the hell's the damn top on these things. Actually, this is an interesting one. I think, generally speaking, the altcoin market is still catching a pretty good bid. But ADA here, for example, pretty good example. It's very tough for me to justify coming in and buying something like that there. Very, very difficult. This probably isn't the best place to show you this. How about let's go over here. You can see I still have some banging out double orders to get filled. This one I'm really surprised about. Look at it, sitting 103.91, and my order is sitting on the goddamn order book at 105. And these bastards, they just keep throwing coins right in front of my offer because they don't want to give me a fill. It's so funny watching this soap opera. These guys, they just do not want to give me a fill, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, if I was running Kraken and I was running the order book, I wouldn't willingly give clowns like me fills. And this is just capitalism 101. This is why you just have to be patient and disciplined and follow your plan. There's a reason why I'm trying to sell at that specific level. And it doesn't really matter all the psychological games that they're going to try and pull on me here. Because the level that I'm trying to sell is based on where I bought it and all that kind of fun talk. Where's that page? Is that this one? What the heck? It's one of these. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Is it over here? Oh yeah, it is. Actually, you want kind of a fun idea. There's a nice little treat for you. This clown here. I don't know whether he's going to be made a fool of here. Him and his crazy crypto calls are 9 times out of 10 they're wrong. But I did go and pick up some of this guy here just because I wanted some on the books. And of course, if doubles come in, well, great. Then we can tout about how we're making money off of him. But interesting name. I did notice he's perking up here a bit. But just to give you an illustration, I thought this was hilarious. There's my offer sitting right there at 105. That's me right there. It's like, I don't know, $200-300 trade. It's not really that big of a trade, but you know me, I like to establish risk-free trades. So once I do get a fill on that, then I've got basically like 400 or 500 coins free and clear, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. But look how there's just these offers here, but look at the bid. There's like no bid at all. And they keep trading it up to this 103.95 kind of area. They're just like filling like little dinky orders. You can see there's like almost no volume here today. And this is a perfect analogy of a BFRN. This is exactly what's supposed to happen right around this dollar level. Now, as I said, I have this order working at 105, and you see they just do not want to fill me. They just keep jamming sell orders in here in front of my 105 offer just because they don't want to fill me. And if anything, what they want to do is they want me to go, fuck it, and just hit the bid at 99 or 98, whatever, and just get it done. But remember, I don't operate that way, right? There's a reason why I'm trying to sell at that very specific price. Am I really in a big hurry here? No. Am I sitting on a position where it's sort of like, oh my God, I'm about to get stopped out and lose my shirt? No. If anything, I'm sitting in the most powerful position possible. I'm sitting on a huge gain right now, right? 100% return. I don't give a flying flute if this thing has to pull back here. So what? So are they going to get me to balk here and move? No, I'm just going to sit there and do absolutely nothing. Anyway, it's kind of a fun anecdote of a trader's life. And if anything, this is a perfect analogy of why you have to work with a plan. Because if you leave investment decisions, and maybe write this down if you've never heard this before, because this is fucking gold, people. If you leave the investment decisions that you are going to make in the marketplace, buying or selling, up to something like looking at the DOM and making a decision about that, then you are playing from a position of weakness. You are playing into these bastards' hands. This is exactly what they want you to do. Keep in mind, they've literally sat the order book here. This is now like literally for the past 4 or 5 hours, this market has just sat here, and you can constantly see the order books changing. Why? There's not that many orders that are being placed on this exchange. This is nothing more than they're trading bots just going in here to try and get me to psychologically balk and go, you know what? I just can't take this stress anymore. I need that fill. Fine, just hit the fucking bid. I got to take it all the way down to this 98 and change level to get my fill in size. And you can even see they're listening to me now going, ooh, maybe we got this guy panicking a little bit. All right, you know what? Let's pull this big bid so that he sits there and goes, oh my God, there's not going to be any fills. I'm going to take this thing all the way down to 80 cents to get a fill here. That's playing into their hands. What I'm trying to teach you is play by your rules. My rule is, well, I bought this thing at this price, and I'm just going to sit here and just wait. And if I get my fill at my double my purchase price, great. I get a risk-free trade. If not, it's no big deal. Next bus in 10 minutes. Really, really good analogy of a trader's life. Are you playing from a position of strength, or are you playing from a position of weakness? I would say, but sort of what I wanted to allude to earlier, ADA here, for example, I've already got my risk-free position established. I couldn't care what they do here now with the rest of this coin. All right, you can see I even added a second car. I've actually got like multiple positions. I have a position from back in 2023, right? And we sold halves on doubles, blah, blah, blah. And this just happens to be the latest trade du jour. Now, this is probably a really good example. If we're thinking about buying an asset up here, are we buying value? Considering where it just was, think about this very carefully, people. Are you buying value? Keep in mind, this darn thing just bottomed here at what, 33 cents, and here we are up at $1.09. Is that value? The asset just tripled in price. Maybe we want to think about that for a bit. If we're thinking about trading crypto right now, are we actually coming in and buying value? That's a really simple answer. 66 of you. Maybe this is a good opportunity to ask you to, maybe if you've heard anything of any value here today, could you please hit the like button? As my fun little, I gotta remember her name. I gotta write it down. Anyway, fun little YouTuber who does her videos. If this is the first time watching the channel, welcome, and hope you enjoy the comic stylings of Mr. Beamish. If this is the second time you visiting the channel, why are you subscribed? And if you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed? AKA get subscribe, hit that subscribe button, please. And I like how I love how the Americans are so matter of fact about hit that damn subscribe button now. I love that about, like, Canadians are way too polite. Well, I don't know. Old Canada from pre-Justin Trudeau doofus head, where we were way too polite, way too laid back, way too subtle to make those kind of outlandish requests. In this current Canada, well, maybe not. Unfortunately, this country just literally is not the same country as it was 5-10 years ago. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, so is nobody going to answer my question? Not a single person. Am I still connected? Chris, am I still connected? Can you hear me? Even that's right. Oh, that's good. Glass Insight says neither a debtor nor lender be. Then that way you never have to deal with those stupid bankster a-holes, eh? So just finishing off that thought that I was talking about earlier. I called the bank and I was just like, I'm just curious, give me a quote, what are your terms, all that kind of fun stuff. I just wanted to hear what they said. And then what I think I'm going to do is at the end of the conversation, I'm going to just simply say, you know what? I'm just going to pay cash for the house. Screw it. We don't need to take a mortgage. Just to piss them off, make them jump through a whole bunch of hoops and get quotes and the whole thing. And at the end of it, I'll just go, nah, you know what? I'm just going to pay cash. Screw you, stupid banksters. Oh, interesting. Look at this. AMQ says, no value to be found stepping in here. Really? Fascinating. No value at all, eh? Huh, that's interesting. Mr. Insights, actually, you kind of always figure I have some value with the stuff I'm saying. Are you getting any value out of what I'm saying here today? Hope so. All right. Well, he says always. I'm not quite sure, AMQ. I don't know who you are. I'd be curious why you don't think that there's any value in this. Maybe that's a point. Maybe I'm nearing my end on this. I thought I was trying to help all of you. He meant the chart. Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, my feelings were getting hurt there. All right. And then now another person came on and he's coming out here going, he's referring to the chart, Brian. Good. Phew. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe, ring Colleen's bell. Hey, I wonder where the hell Colleen is in this world, eh? Jesus, we haven't seen her in a dog's age. Colleen, if you are out there, please send me a note. Would love to know how you're doing. I hope to God you're participating. Also, Nadia, right? Nadia participated with us in Portugal. She went through the whole damn thing. And this is exactly what she was supposed to be learning to get ready for. I hope to God she's participating in this. Anyway, okay, so back to our story. Is there any value here? No. Now, remember on, and actually I like this segue. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. This works. You can see the value trade down here, right? You're pure value, Brian. Oh, I like that. Oh, now you're warming. Oh, that's GOG. Yeah, GOG. I could see you saying that. Been here for years, Brian. Always valuable information. All right, cool. That's good. Okay, well, all right. Let's get back to our story. Okay, so riddle me this, Batman. If you're not hunting a value trade, and unfortunately, what does value mean at this point on an asset like this? To me, it means that we have to wait for prices to come back down to things like 78.6s. That's the value trade here, right? And if anything, what we like to at TRI, we have one setup in particular that just simply says you're going to hunt market structure. And if that market structure level happens to correspond with 78.6, we call this the shark setup. Why? Because this is the way sharks trade. They're notorious for making killings in the market. So remember I had showed you that conversation about what was the asset earlier when I said that if it just, the Bitcoin futures, right? So same sort of thing here. You might get like a 1 or 2 day dump because maybe Gensler says, you know what? I'm not leaving office and I'm going to open up new lawsuits against Cardano and I'm going to use my state senator out of New York. Can you believe a state senator out of New York has actually tabled legislation to have the New York state secede from the United States and join Canada? Can you believe that? I couldn't believe that when I saw that. And she's this little roly-oly-poly state senator. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. So you can't write better fiction than reality. Who knows? Maybe New York State's going to secede from the Union. There's going to be a civil war to get New York State back in the Union. Who fucking knows? But the point of the matter here is maybe you get some sort of insane, just 1 day dump. Oh my God, crypto's dumping. Remember I talked to you about the Bitcoin futures, right? That's what this conversation was. Ironically enough, if you actually got a violent dump like that, that would be an awesome buy setup because, unfortunately the public here, they're coming in up top here. And then if you get some sort of short-term negative news, that's going to knock it back down to value. And ironically enough, that'll actually set up an excellent buying opportunity. Unfortunately, though, I don't think you can bank on that now. So, and let's see, I'll ask everybody on the YouTube channel to jump through this hurdle or jump through this hoop. If you're not hunting the value trades, right? And I might also actually, before we move forward, let's also think about this from the dashboard perspective. So we know that and you all just went through this, so none of you have any excuses to say, I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. I didn't see it. You all should remember that for quite a long period of time, when we looked at things like our crypto top 30, there were tons of names that were attractive. There was a lot. This is your number one tool if you're hunting value, where you actually see that it says attractive. So things like Filecoin, Matic, interesting. Render has actually come back down into a value window. That's interesting. OKB, I have no idea what that is, but those are the only assets in our universe that are actually even attractive. And what's shocking here is look how much of crypto is actually not value. Look at all this. Holy crap. And really, from a value perspective, you should not even be thinking, even if it just says meh. That is sort of your, well, I'm not, if I'm a value investor, can't touch this. Copyright demonetized. Can't say it. Can't even hum a song on YouTube nowadays. Anyway, so the point of the matter here, and none of you had this excuse. None of you. And the sad part about it is that this market's actually looking kind of like heavy now. There's a lot of assets. We are not a value trade anymore. But more importantly, Did TRI as a service that I think is worth subscribing to? Did TRI point out when the market was of value and the public was basically throwing the baby out with the bathwater, which means that you, as a professional investor, you have to start saying, all right, the public has lost all interest. The public is completely destroyed. Nobody in the public is interested in this space. A la crypto breadth is everything is bearish. Everything is being sold. And our histogram is spitting out the oversold condition on the short term and the oversold condition on the medium term. This was your golden ticket. The market is value. The market is washed out. It is now time to go and get serious about the buy side. Unfortunately, I don't know. I had a very, very big shopping list. And I was only able, this is my shopping list, and you can see all of these are bids and, you know, alerts and stuff that I've set on my screen. You can see how big my shopping list is here, and I was only able to get filled on these guys. And it's fascinating that most of these guys I've already actually banged out doubles, like this EOS, perfect example. This is value, kaboom! Sorry, wanted to get everybody's attention. This now, unfortunately, is not value. There's nothing value about this. We're now actually getting into expensive market state. Remember, this was value. In fact, actually, we can get rid of this now because I'm not quite sure why I have that alert on there. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that anymore because I already got my fill. I'm laughing now. I mean, I cannot talk about the ultimate position of strength. I buy here. I've sold half on a double here. I got all my original money back. Quite sure why that's sitting there, but anyway, that's basically the same as that, isn't it? All right. Anyway, and you can see I'm not bullshitting you, right? There's the goddamn trade right there. There's the buy. So I'm not bullshitting you, 45 cents. But you tell me, if this thing goes off the boards, what's my risk? Brian, big problem. I am running out of cigarettes. Eddie. Love you, babe. I can't wait to see you in Greece again. I'll give you a big kiss. Anyway, who can tell me what's my risk on being long this name now? Is this not the ultimate position of strength? Is there any stronger position I could possibly be in? This is what I'm trying to teach you how to do. I don't know where the hell this damn thing's going. I mean, you could make the argument. I mean, you really could. I mean, I don't know whether I would or not, but you could make the argument that there's no reason whatsoever that by the end of this cycle, this silly little thing is all the way right back up top here. I mean, God, how far did this darn thing go? I mean, you see how the public acts through these stupid blow off tops. And this is what I'm trying to tell the TRI management team, but they just can't see the forest through the trees. TRI itself is loaded up with crypto. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of fucking crypto on the books. Relatively speaking, I mean, we're not, billionaires, but relatively speaking, TRI, if let's put it this way, if TRI, if the market does this into this cycle, and of course, does it not make sense? I don't know about this one in particular. But does it not make sense that this is the way the market acts when the public comes in and acts stupid through these darn cycle peaks, right? 2021, we go back to our fun little calendar. Is this our calendar? Where's our calendar? Was this it? I don't think this was it. This was the futures. Yeah, this one here. Right? You can see the peak in 2021. I mean, this is really quite cliche. And that's the irony of all of this. It's so cliche. And yet, do you think the public is even paying attention right now? No, because the public will act a cliche. They're going to come in and buy the top of the market. There's 2021, that peak, and you saw what that EOS did, and that was the top of the cycle, right? There's your crypto. Oh, how are we doing on time? Burn through the second half hour? All right. Thank you, sir. There's the crypto cycle. By the time we get to the end of the crypto cycle, you want to have taken profits. So the point here is, here we are now. You are here now. Look at what we have in front of us. Is it realistic that into 2021, this silly thing does something like this again? Absolutely. I've already established a risk-free trade here now. What have I got to lose? Nothing. Thank you, GOG. Thank you, Elevorn. Cool name. I ain't got anything to lose. I mean, this is what I'm trying to teach all of you. The worst part about it is, as we start working our way up here, I might be spoon feeding into these rallies. I mean, I'm not really in any hurry to sell anymore. I've already done my job. If anything, what I kind of want, and this is what I'm hoping, is, my hunch here is that we're rallying into this inauguration. I think it's a pretty big event. And I think it's also psychological. And of course, let's pray to God the guy lives. But my hunch here is that this market wants to move higher into the inauguration, which would also make sense too from a cycle perspective. Like, I think what happens is, if you can think of these points as sort of your dips, buy the dip. So that means you want to buy that, you want to buy that, you want to buy that, roughly thereabouts. I think you want to buy that. So that would get you there. That would get you there. That would get you there. Right. I think that there's going to be a buy the dip right in here. But unfortunately, what that means is there has to be some sort of top in here. And I'm kind of thinking something along those lines. As I said earlier, we have 2.618s, 4.669s, the parking garage, the big fat round number here. I don't really have enough to like call a top here. Yeah, market's getting overbought, but just because it's overbought, in fact, Johnny Bollinger used to always say, one of the strongest market messages you can have from the market is that the market's overbought. Also interesting too, we've been following this Ethereum short for quite a while, and the final 1/8 of the position was blown out at scratch. So there's another sort of reason that, do we really want to step in on the short side here? I don't think so. And even these long-standing shorts are getting busted out. We have interesting fog and bombs. We have all-time high on Ethereum. We have the bot objective up here. I would be shocked if Ethereum can't get up into that sort of 4,000, 4,100 area in the not too distant future. There's no sign here that this bull is done. And if anything, like I had sort of pointed out a few minutes ago, what I'm noticing is that the Bitcoin dominance is starting to flounder here. So usually in these kind of markets, if we look at Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin's not going to break down here. It's just, is this an opportunity for the rest of the crypto market to sort of play catch up? So you can see, this is the total market cap. It's booming higher here. We talked about Ethereum, but ironically enough, if you take Ethereum out of the equation and Bitcoin, the altcoin market is even stronger. So, you hear a lot of the kids talking about altcoin season and is it finally time for altcoins? And I think to a certain degree it is. Right? I like that thinking. And of course, you see the kind of money I'm making on these altcoins. I mean, that EOS is a perfect example. I mean, did you see Bitcoin just go and double here over the past, month? I don't think so. Went up appreciably, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it did this kind of performance. And this guy actually isn't even one of the better ones, like that ADA. Holy moly. Look at that move. That's a triple. Did Bitcoin triple? I don't think it did. OMG, this is another example of one. Beautiful. And this is ultimately what I'm trying to teach all of you to do, is that if we can get that pullback, like I said, the next pullback I'm looking for is actually into March, like way over here. So if I can get that pullback into March, through the eclipse and all that, then this is just going to represent a new buying window. So if we do get this pullback down into 78.6s, Original market structure, 78.6. You know what setup this is. I told you earlier. So no reason why that can't happen. And at that point, I'm going to go strap on my third car on this guy. This was the second car. The first car we did last year. I bought in here in 2023 and, enjoyed that nice little rally, banged out double, got free coins. Here comes the next one, right? And just keep doing this over and over and over. This is how you get rich at this game. All right. So the point here is, and this is just yet another example, is this a value trade here now? And as poor old AMG pointed out, but I completely misinterpreted, no, it's not a value trade. So if it's not a value trade, then what kind of trade setup should we be thinking about? Let's see if you guys can play that. This is where I was going with all of this. What is the market state right now? Are we hunting value? And again, like I said, and we already got the answer for AMG, so we don't have to do that again. We definitely are not in the value window here. So if we're not in the value window, then what should we be hunting for here? It doesn't necessarily mean, I hate to say it, but crypto did look like it got a little bit overbought there back, through the whole election when crypto went absolutely nutso there. I don't necessarily think I like an actual short here because I think I've said repeatedly, pullbacks are buying opportunities. And I think that's a function of our season, right? What season are we in with crypto? And that is, just to remind everybody, right, that's this conversation. I don't want to be shorting crypto in the middle of the summer. I think you're asking for trouble. So the point here is, what do we look at if we see maybe the market's gotten a little bit ahead of itself, right? You might even argue like this total crypto 3. Does that not look like a bullish setup? Something that I teach everybody in the education program? And does that not look like actually we're coming into take profit locations? Looks like it to me. So we're not hunting value here, right? I don't think that there's value here. So what are we hunting? And I like Elavarn there says trend trade. I was thinking, excellent, Elavarn, momentum trade. What is our preferred setup if we're hunting momentum? Hint, 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 it's right on the damn screen there. Here's your value trade. Beautiful W's, bottom end of the range. TRI's, momentum indicator will get all washed out here. Ironically enough, we even got another sort of washout signal here. I don't think, though, that on the total 3 here, this is a value trade. Because look how far it moved up. So what is this setup, right? This is the momentum setup. Now, do we have any algorithms at TRI that actually hunt for these momentum setups? And is that what we should be maybe thinking about here? And this is the whole point of where I'm going with this. Obviously, if I ask that kind of question, the answer is going to be yes. So, I showed you on Friday how our screening system is now up and running and just looking like an absolute badass boss screening tool. Is this worth an $85 a month subscription to get all of these beautiful signals all laid out for you? Even Sjord's buys here. And then, on Friday, if you need a review of what that value trade kind of looks like, we were pulling up all of these charts. And, for instance, we looked at these real estate investment trusts that are in Canada breaking out. And that's basically what this chart looks like. Market backs up into the 200 SMA value. You look down at your indicators and you see indicator divergence, prices making lower lows, indicators making higher lows. And then, of course, you all see what letter of the alphabet that is staring you in the face. Beautiful. I mean, this is so freaking perfect. It's awesome. Now, you're all looking at it going, I don't want to buy fucking Canadian piece of shit real estate proxies. I'm trading Bitcoin and I trade crypto. Let's get back on message here. All right. Well, we know that Bitcoin is not a value trade anymore. So hunting for value setups maybe not appropriate here. How about we look for market structure lovers signals? What the hell does that mean? Oh, that means that you've got W's in RSI, you have W's in Willie, and you've got W's in OBV, you've got W's in price, and wow, momentum signals. And so you can just come on here, you go market structure lovers, also previously known as Davos. And since Davo has decided to liberate TRI's little old lady concept, then I suppose we're going to liberate Davos and call them market structure lover signals. And we're going to screen the entire crypto universe. And what's really cool about this is, maybe you're like, well, Brian, I want to stick with the big cryptos. All right. So we could say, you know what, let's just do the top 30. And we have an algorithm that just simply filters for the absolute top 30 and gets rid of all the stable coins and all that kind of stuff from the screener. So hit enter, right? You can see how this works, market structure lovers, and we'll refresh the list. And there's our list. And notice, look at this. We've got SHIB. And what's super cool, and this is where this goes to the next level, you can look at a grid of the names. Now, remember, this is the top 30, so it's not going to be a lot of names for you to consider. But, maybe that's where you leave your shopping list. Now, remember, these are trend continuation trades, trending market state. What setup are we going to be hunting here? What is Brian's setup that I teach you in the level 1 program, the way that we trade trends? Anybody? Bueller. Can you see? Oh, you got a big pop, then a consolidation, and this market structure lover signal is your momentum signal that, hey, things look actually pretty uppy. And there's a lot of momentum here. So we click on SHIB, because everybody loves SHIB Inu. And look at that chart. Look at all these W's. Oh my goodness. Look at this beautiful price pattern. What do you think? Is that a half decent looking W? Can you, anybody who's gone through the TRI education program, the point of this is you should look at this and go, holy crap, that looks exactly like a bot. 1 higher low, 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows. I don't know. Why don't we go and look and see, and obviously the day the signal comes, I think we said here that, where was that? Oh, we didn't have the list. I don't have the date just handy, but we could probably, I think this was like a day or two ago. It's not today. Obviously, when the signals come in, that's when you want to act, right? This was yesterday, in fact. Oh, no, 2 days ago. So this is a perfect example. Had you taken the trade on the 29th, exactly like it had set up, and gone to like TradingView and mapped all this out, how would that have worked? And the beautiful part about it is, oh my goodness, this trade was freaking awesome. I mean, all of you probably have been watching SHIB, so you know exactly what it's done here. But do I have it on here? Nope, that's stocks. Let's go and find our crypto page. Crypto over here. Nope. Oh, I guess it's this one. There we are. You tell me. How does this look? Can you see the setup? Isn't that cool? This was the signal. Boom. This, interestingly enough, right? This is the bot setup, everything that we teach on the site. 1 higher low, 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows. Look how the bot set up so clean and pristine right there. I mean, hell, you could have just taken the open. I really wouldn't have argued with you too much on that. Move stop to scratch, move stop to trailing. So at this point, actually, you shouldn't lose any money. And maybe we drill down to like a 4-hour chart or even, less, and you find, oh, there's a railroad tracks. I'm chicken shit. I'll just take my money and boom, insta profits. Now, the way that I would teach you to trade this on the site is simply long off of the bot level. And of course, you got that freaking awesome signal there. So you can't tell me you couldn't have gotten in. And right now, even I would be waiting for higher lows to actually start moving my stops off of scratch. But right now, since we hit the 50% level, you shouldn't lose any money on this trade. Just that simple. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, just perfect. And if you are a momentum trader, this signaling system is just freaking awesome. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right. Well, this one's already gone, Brian. How about ones that maybe are just setting up? So here, this is this Chronos, CRO. No idea what this thing is. But, if we go and pull up the chart, let's just see what the hell happened here. I think I had to look at this one on Coinbase. Yeah, so there you go. Can you see that the setup is just sitting there? There's the entry. 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 3 kilos. Ooh, nice little fractal. There's the bot level. This is, if anything, like a momentum trader's dream, that you just literally come on the site. And you can also, hopefully over time, I'll demonstrate how you can get these signals in your email. But basically, you just come on the site and you can do this filter very quickly, very easily. It's not rocket science. All you saw was I just came on the screener page. And I think it was this one, right? Market structure lovers and crypto top 30. And there was the list, right? And what's super cool is you maybe go through these and you go, well, I'm already long SHIB and maybe I like that CRI, maybe a CRO, maybe I don't, whatever. It's kind of a small list, Brian. I mean, crypto top 30, okay, I understand you want to sort of stick with the big ones, but I want to look at the whole crypto universe. Well, we got you covered there. This is freaking awesome. This is something that just we were able to put together. And I think this is the cherry on top, right? So crypto universe, market structure lovers. Then we come on here, filter list. And now you tell me, any names to choose from? Look how long this damn list is. Now, this is why I think that this market is very strong here right now. Lots of momentum. These are all market structure lovers, right? We want to find, in fact, actually, why don't we even take it one step further? And let's say, you know what, we only want long market structure lover signals. So if there are any shorts, we don't want to see them. All right, you tell me any names for you to choose from here. Look at this shopping list, folks. This is crazy. And then what's super cool, I absolutely love this, is we can actually look at this list in a grid view and just simply let's see whether we can see any W's, right? Just visually we go, ooh, that one looks good. Ooh, that one. I mean, this one here, that's that EOS. Yeah, maybe it's kind of gone too far. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's got a lot of momentum behind it, but I want to find like a W. Right? Can I see any names that kind of look like they're Wing out from these consolidations, just like you saw with that SHIB? And I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just the whole universe is at your disposal here. This is freaking incredible. Our universe is about 700, 750. Look at that one right there. Safe versus euro. I have no idea about that. Oh, look at this NOS. Can you see the bot setup here? All right. Well, I kind of like what I'm seeing here. So let's maybe take this a step further. All right. Well, there's the chart when I click on the chart. Look at that signal. Isn't this the kind of shit that you want? You want a system to tell you, all right, your indicators are all pointing up. It's that you're not chasing. Remember, this is like Gucci sweater wearers. They'll tell you to come in and buy this. You want a nice long consolidation where the volatility has literally been taken out of the market. And you have one higher low, two higher lows, three higher lows. Can you see the setup? And remember, we as traders, we trade setups. Put your fucking opinion away. It's worthless. I want to see a situation where if I come in, I've got a whole bunch of institutional fingerprints defending my trade. I will put my stop below this low. And I will, of course, map out the bot levels because this is a trend continuation trade. And I will just simply follow the levels. How do you do that on your system? And oh, by the way, the boys are actually, their plans are to actually get rid of these charts and integrate the trading view charts. Once we get to that point, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, this is incredible. But the point here is this, to me, I'm perfectly happy with us just leaving this at this. And then we just take the symbol over to trading view. And if you want to map it out and save all your charts and all that kind of fun stuff, great. Let's come on in here and then we can go paste. There is that NOS. Let's maybe see if we can find the symbol and you tell me, does that look like a trade that we would teach a TRI to consider trading? Doesn't that look fucking awesome? That looks incredible. My job's done. Sjord did it. Go Sjord. Woohoo! We're going to get fucking rich. Now, the question I guess for you is, would you like to be able to use this tool on a regular basis, just spitting out ideas and setups? This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the irony of it all is that I saw this morning and I was like, God damn, I wanted to take that freaking trade. Now I can't touch it. Because I trade setups. I can't go in there and just willy-nilly buy this. You see where the buy level is. And what's so freaking cool is that this aligns perfectly with what the system is saying here. Wow. I mean, we finally made it, folks. We're here. When are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Well, my friend, we have arrived at the fireworks factory. Holy crap. And the only thing that I can possibly say to you this is that you're not going to find this anywhere else online. Nowhere. It does not exist. So, do you want to have this nice, polite screening system at your disposal where you can find these ideas, whether you're trading things like the stock market? I mean, when I saw that chart, when I did the Friday video, I nearly fell off my chair. I couldn't believe how incredible that signal is. And now when I was coming through this weekend, I was kind of going, we're not really in a value window anymore. Is there anything I can show these people how to use the platform to trade trending markets? And oh my God, it's just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I got to say, congratulations, Sjord. And as always, typical TRI, they snuck in right at the very last second. No, this is not for free. Now, interesting that you say that. I suppose you could sit here and watch these videos and glean the ideas that come by, but I mean, let's call a spade a spade. You're best served taking advantage of this absolutely insane discount that we're offering here for you folks. This Black Friday deal, we are literally giving this product away at $1,000. I mean, the question here is, if you had taken that SHIB trade with a couple bucks, could you have made $1,000 the cost for and have basically the tool for free for the rest of the year? Could you have made $1,000 on that trade? And if you can't, I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? I don't mean to be rude, sorry, but I mean, basically, this is just gift wrapped. Where was that SHIB trade? I mean, could you have just taken that signal when it came in and blown this out at plus $1,000 and said, all right, I now have this tool basically for free for the next year? And I don't know. I mean, hopefully, like, my job is just simply going to be on these videos that I do for the public, just show you trade after trade after trade after trade. And the fantastic part about this is, like I said earlier on in the week, I was showing you how to use this system to find value trades and to find, this is the 200 period moving average. Obviously, you can see the beautiful indicator signal and, of course, price structure. Value trade, awesome. And now I can show you how to use this to trend trade and momentum trade. And my suggestion to you is take advantage of this discount. It's only $1,000, and I don't even think it's 1,000. I think it's like 990 some odd dollars or something that the team wanted to give this away for. And frankly speaking, I don't mean going to be rude to you, but perfectly frank, people are actually sending me messages to try and haggle with me for $1,000 for this subscription for the next year. You're actually kind of insulting me, because this is like literally my life's work. And for $1,000, or basically like $85 a month, this is an absolute steal. Absolute steal. Keep in mind, we want to charge the regular price that I expect to charge for this is easily a couple grand a year. Easily. That'd be like $100, $200 a month. Can you make $100, $200 a month with this signaling system? Could you have made a couple $100 on that SHIB trade? I mean, it's not that difficult. But at $995, this is an absolutely ridiculously low price for this product. And TRI, myself, Sjord, Julian, and Chris, Josh, we have all worked our asses off to try and bring this product to market. So no, there is no further discount to this. If you subscribe to this, you are getting yourself an absolute ridiculous steal. And it's just as simple as that. If you don't, this is the regular retail price for this product, and there is no negotiation. So my suggestion to you is, for God's sakes, take advantage of this. This is a gift that we're giving you. And now, the best part about this is, I mean, this is the entire freaking crypto universe right here. Look at this. You can sit here all day. There's pages of these signals. And this is just what's happening here right now. I mean, look at that orca. Look at that beautiful bull flag. I mean, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, I could spend the next probably hour here just going through all of these charts and mapping out all the bot setups and where you'd go long. And then it's just really a question of, what's the fundamental drivers? Why would you want to be long these things? Are you interested in the story? Do you like the developers? Blah, 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 right? This is rational investing. It's just, I can't give you a better sales pitch. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful what the team has pulled off here. And there's that NOS again. Look at that chart. It's just okay. Good. So what do you think? Did I do a pretty good little tutorial there on how we can screen the crypto market for trend continuation setups? All right, good. Awesome. All right, so next up on the docket, we talked a little bit about the Black Friday deal now, right? Now I've said my piece. Demo to follow, I suppose you could use that SHIB, you could use the NOS, You could use that CRO. I think they're all three of those are perfect examples of trend continuation trade setups, and just see how they go. You can take screenshots of how the trades ultimately develop. And of course, you know me, in the coming videos and weeks, maybe even next Sunday, I'll circle back around, just do an update on how those trades went. We talked a little bit about this week's newsletter and sort of the overriding themes of this current market state. I still think we're in a bit of like a honeymoon period with Mr. Trump. Fingers crossed Mr. Trump doesn't get accidentally unalived here. I think if anything, he's cooped up there in Mar-a-Lago with 500 private security all around him, the way he can trust the U.S. government as it is right now, which is so pathetic. And just stay alive, sir. Oh, these bastards. I swear, you can't write better fiction than reality. Take advantage of this market state. Obviously, the market's moving up. You can't really hunt value trades. If you did hunt the value trades, then you should be paying yourself, establishing those risk-free positions. I've shown you a number of these value trades that have all hit take profit levels. So hopefully I've been the demonstrator of best practices in that regard. And then I wouldn't like set your watch and expect to get absolutely insane moves. If anything, what you should do as a professional money manager is you should just set yourself up to be able to take advantage of those insane moves. I'm not going to predict which one's going to be. And frankly speaking, I had no idea that a coin by the name of Size, I mean, why the hell did this stupid thing move? But hopefully you look at this image and go, son of a bitch, I actually had to change this to a log scale so you could actually see this image. Do you want to know what a regular scale chart, what this looks like? Do you want to learn how to do this yourself? There's no reason why any of you can't do this. I mean, look at this Kramer coin. It's sitting there. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing goes crazy here. Oh, I noticed this PSY. I think I got to go buy some of this damn thing. Look at it. It's perking up here. Let's see what it looks like. Total side topic, but anyway, I'm having fun. Oh, look at that. That thing's such a buy. I think I got to go get some of that before it takes off. Fuck me. And this is the sad part about this game. Where does the public come in and buy this crap? Way up here. Where's Brian interested? Well, he loves coming in and buying at the bottom end of ranges. Anyway, so do you want to set yourself up to do this? This is basically the same image as this size. Let's see if this silly thing will load. Now, I showed you the log image there on like six doubles. That's crazy. Just so you can understand what this looks like from a regular scale. And I don't plan for this to happen. I don't plan it. And if anything, what I've told people, and I even put a tweet out this recently to this effect, this is last winter's rally. Do you see how this is actually into crypto summer? Do you see the difference in magnitude? This was sort of the market just coming off its lows and, get your skirt together. We've finally turned the corner. We're no longer a bear. We're now starting to set up for this coming bull market. And look at this size difference in magnitudes of the move. So I put out a tweet the other day saying, mark my words. You thought last year's rally in Solana land and all this funny DeFi stuff, you thought that was a bull market? Fuck, you haven't seen anything yet. You have not seen anything yet. And I can't even do the stupid banging out doubles like marks on here because they'll get all fucking lost, right? I remember I had to actually show you all the doubles. I had to change it to log scale because if you look at it from this regular scale, it just goes straight up. I mean, here, let's zoom in just so you can get an impression. Now, the ultimate question here is, and this is why it's so important to have a plan and to sort of ahead of time actually hash out what it is you're going to do here. Was I able to predict that this was going to happen? No, no way. And don't kid yourself. Nobody could predict that this was going to happen. But having said that, I want to make damn sure to take advantage of it. And can you see how I forced myself to literally spoon feed the market coins as this thing moved up and up and up and up? And I only got one order not filled. All of these other orders were filled. And now, what do you think the odds are that that order up top is going to get filled? My hunch is probably not. It's gone. So I guess just the point here is, and I don't know what I do with that, is, you have to approach this from a plan perspective. There's no way that you could either predict or say, oh yeah, I'm going to sell everything right up at the top of the market because that's me. I'm a boss. I can hit that. Come on. That's just bullshit. But if you have a plan that every time the asset doubles, you're just going to let another half go, well, then all you're doing is just following your plan. And oh, by the way, I got fills all the way up through this wick here. And my hunch is that wick ain't going to be eaten for a long time. And so if you miss the trade, it's gone. There's nothing you can do. And I hate to say it, but I think every single one of these coins that I follow is probably going to do exactly the same thing. Remember, I'm buying down here, right? So can you now see why when I see something like this, where are we here? Like this PSV, but even Kramer, which is interesting, right? Because I'd absolutely love to make money on a name like this and totally rub it in Kramer's face because he doesn't like this thing at all. But can you now not see the potential of a name like this? And as I said, with that other one that I showed you, these highs are laughable in comparison to the highs that I think you're going to see in this cycle. You can't even see the price here. I mean, if you had any worth as a trader, you would just go and grab some of this and just have some on the books. Because you never know what the fuck's going to happen. And it's so easy to get a double out of this thing down here. It doesn't have to do anything. And what I'm telling you, based on what I just saw out of that size, is when they want to run this thing, this old high is going to be laughed at. My hunch is whatever the hell the damn high is, maybe it's the day that Kramer gets like publicly humiliated or something, it's probably going to be way up there. And do you have your plan in place that when they take this thing up, you're going to pay yourself the whole damn way? It's up to you. If you don't have that plan in place and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then maybe you ought to take advantage of our Black Friday deal. Again, I've never seen anybody anywhere on the net educate people in the world of trading and money management the way that TRI does. With nobody. I mean, I find it laughable when I hear, like old TRI alum are setting up education courses to trade the little old lady. I mean, what we do at TRI is we don't teach you a setup. We teach you everything. We start at, okay, well, what kind of investor are you? And then we build the whole plan and your approach to the market around you as an individual. Maybe you are a little old lady. Ironically enough, I actually don't think a lot of you are little old ladies. Because when I notice, I bought something and then it just sits there and does nothing for 6 months. And why am I not making money, Brian? That to me does not sound like a little old lady. That to me sounds like a Joe Sixpack. So if you don't know what the difference is, well, get your butt into the education program and get schooled correctly. I don't know whether I have that on here or not. I've got too many tabs, right? And that's our school program. Again, we are, for less than $1,000, we are literally giving this away to you. This is embarrassing how low this price is. But Brian's trying to make a positive difference in this world, and here we are. I think our level 1 instructor, Grim, is total boss. Perfect guy, absolutely perfect for level 1. He's sweet, he's kind, he's gentle, he talks very calmly. He's just an absolute teddy bear. Now, you want to learn how to be a pro trader, take your trading to the next level. I would strongly suggest that you do the whole damn education program. And again, take advantage of these discounts because they are ridiculous, the prices we're charging for this. In fact, we had one guy, Terry, who actually said he took the program and then he went and wrote the practice exam for the Chartered Market Technicians Association to get your Chartered Market Technician license. And he passed. Didn't open a single one of their books based on the education program at TRI. And he said, Brian, you should really be selling this as like a prep program for people who actually want to get their CMT designation. Damn. That's how incredibly powerful our education program is. I tell you, nobody holds a candle to this anywhere on the net. So there's my sales pitch for you. Incredible tools that will give you incredible edge in the market. And then if you don't know what you're doing and you want to be a professional and you want to make a shitload of money from trading and literally lose that punch the clock life and start really living, well, get your butt into the education program. We'll teach you how to be a badass trader. I don't know, Chris. Chris is right here on the call with me. Did the education program help you to become a professional trader? He's a professional trader now, this guy.
I'd say so. It definitely set me on the right path and taught me best practices and how to behave in the market.
Oh, well said. So, all right. I think I'm done with the sales pitch. Let's move on to the Q&A document and questions and answers. And when that's done, I've got about 20 minutes or so. I will ask you all to say a karmic prayer for the boy and I, as things are getting pretty freaking crazy here in China these days. Just even driving on the roads, it's scary. All right, thank you, Glass Insights. All right, ahead of time. So now you can do a couple. You can do one now and one when we're done. So 2 best wishes, please, and thank you. All right, where's our Q&A document? Do I have that thing on here? I don't think I do. Where is Chris? There is Chris and Q&A document. Where is Chris and AMA? There we go. Boosh. All right, let's see what we got here. Brian, why are you such a loser? No, really? Yeah, you could at least phrase it a little bit nicer. Well, let's head on down, see what we got here. Hello, human biomass. You got to say hello to the girls, and you got to say hello to the houseplants too. All right, let's see what we got. All right, December 1st. God, can you believe that? We're into the last month of 2024. Man, time sure flies, eh? All right, let's zoom in here a bit so I can actually see. All right, hi, Brian. As far as I know, you manage several portfolios, FA names, LOL, SOL. So remember, the FA portfolio is Sjord's baby because he is our crypto expert. LOL, yeah, that's a fun little demo portfolio I showed you on the Kraken site. Actually, I got to move a bunch of coins over from the ledger still. And the SOL portfolio, actually, I was quite pleased to see. Remember, we started this portfolio with $500. Somebody did gift me an NFT a while ago, so that does, and I've got it in there, so that does affect the reporting. But I think the NFT is worth maybe like, I don't know, $500 or something. So this is the SOL portfolio, but humming along quite nicely. And if anything, I'm quite pleased because we had to wait quite a while there for the damn market to turn back up, and I had literally burned through all my dry powder. So with these recent rallies in the market, actually, I've got now a nice big cash hoard. I can go play the market a bit more. Although I did buy a tout that Sjord had on Friday, and oh, that thing landed flat on its face. Way to go, Stuart. Tell you, hot tips almost never work. And that hot tip didn't work. Just goes to show. Be careful with hot tips. Anyway, so there is my portfolio here in Solana land. And the good part about it, like I said, is I got a nice big cash word, so I can go and throw 30, 40 bucks at a whole bunch of names if I really want to go spend some money. Not really seeing too much to be done here today, but like I said, Steven funded us last year with 500 bucks. So that seems to be heading in the right direction, but this NFT does take up a big chunk of that, 600 bucks. So $1,100, more than doubled our money in a year. That's not bad. And considering that the altcoin market right now is still kind of on its knees, a lot of these names haven't even begun to start to lift yet. Look how they're still fucking with my brain here, eh? They just will not give me a fill there. What was the high here? 103.95. So there's my order. Remember I told you an hour or two ago? All right, there's my damn order sitting there, and I'm not going to balk, but they do not want to give me a fill, do they? So they're trying to screw with my head here, but I don't give a shit. I'm just going to let my order just work. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the question. What do you think about adding a portfolio based on crypto screeners from your website? It would be incredibly useful and promotional to showcase its performance. Also, could you review the recent signal on NOS? Is it still a buy? Thank you. All right, well, actually, we did that a few minutes ago, so we don't need to worry about that. So just hit the rewind. That was that idea. It just looks so pretty. Oh, my goodness. I would be more than happy to trade that. More than happy. Do I have a trend continuation trade setup plan working right now? And also, to remember that my hands are actually kind of handcuffed right now. And if anything, a really, really good reason that if you are in these communist dictatorship countries, which is sadly, Canada, I think, is actually turning into a communist country. Hopefully, Mr. Trump smartens this country up and smacks them in the face a bit and reminds them that communism does not work. But this Justin idiot has completely destroyed our country. It's going to take a long time for this place to recover from the damage this bastard has done. But the problem here is that half of the communists, right? Half of communism, and you think about like what's happening in Russia even now with their currency controls, right? If you were in Russia and you had wanted to get the fuck out, you can't. And my hunch is that Canada is going to go along exactly the same path, as well as Australia. I think Australia is going to go along exactly the same path, where like quite literally it will be illegal. Might even get shot at the border. Like that's how bad it could get in this country. And also, too, they've got a whole bunch of people that are not even supposed to be in this country right now. Be really interesting to see, you know, if Mr. Trump starts saying, get the fuck out of the US if you don't belong here, and all these people are panicking, are they going to come to Canada? So we get all of the fucking Venezuelan gang members and shit in here, too. I mean, this place is just an absolute utter shit show. It's stunning how bad it is. But the problem here, and this is really for your conversation, what do you do if you're here in Canada? And I do know that there are some TRIers that are Canadian, and I think that actually they're breaking the law right now, trading in very specific places because they have VPNs and stuff that sort of mask where they are. And I'm going to publicly suggest to all of you, I can think of one person in particular that lives just north of Toronto. You are flirting with disaster. These communists, they'll come down on you like a ton of bricks. So as a result, me being here in Canada, Chindica, whatever the fuck you want to call this nutso shithole, I have to be very, very careful with crypto. Very careful. And what's fascinating is I go through these screeners, and, you know, I even set up a whole list of names that are on Kraken on TradingView. And I don't know whether this is on purpose or what. You can see I have like Kraken coins, November 2024. And I actually even surfed through some of these names. They're on Kraken. And this really bugs me to no end, right? Like this audio. I think I'd be willing to buy this. Was this one? Maybe it was audio versus. There it is. Is that it? That looks a little different. I thought it was Australian dollar. No, that's not what I want. It was like audio. Is it auction? I thought it was this one. Yeah, maybe that's it. All right. I mean, you should look at this chart. Is this a name that Brian's probably going to be maybe just slightly interested? Does Brian buy markets that are down at the bottom end of the range? Does Brian buy W's? I mean, hell, this is a gift for you folks. But the problem is, I go over to Kraken, right? The account that really is one of the only legal markets I can trade. I type in audio. Nothing comes up. What the fuck is going on here? So this is how bad, you hear me say Canada is a short. This is a really good example of why Canada is a short. Stay the fuck away from this place. And this place is not a buy for at least another 10 years. 2035. Why do I say that number? Take the education program. It's my life's work. Don't lowball me and try and get this information for free. Sorry to be an asshole, but I think at this point now I have to have a bit of a backbone with all of you. Anyway, point of the matter here is, unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that Big Brother is actually making it extremely difficult for me to participate in this. And, you all know how much I love my boy. I think I've made that pretty straightforward and obvious to all of you. So it literally rips my heart out of my chest thinking about leaving Canada because he is low functioning. He has special needs. He needs a lot of care. And unless I can somehow come up with a good 50 to 100,000 US after tax dollars to pay for his care, I'm trapped here, because that's literally how much his annual care bill is. And I don't have $100,000 indefinitely, because keep in mind, I'm not just going to take him out of care and then move off to some third world country. And then, a year or two later, oh, well, it turns out you lost your crypto wallet in a boating accident. And now you don't have any money, Brian. Now what do I do for Liam? I can't take that kind of chance. That's just way too irresponsible. So if I am going to move him out of the country and stuff, I better be a fucking multimillionaire, right? And not even think twice about this. Actually, that brings up an interesting conversation, although we don't have much time. Somebody remind me to talk about a TRI coin that we're thinking about floating. Maybe that's the way that we fund Liam's care over the long term. So I'm in a situation where I really don't have any choice. I have to stay here. But that doesn't mean that that's your situation. And if, sadly, I can't even use a lot of this information that I think is absolute fucking gold. So that's my answer to you, the question that was asked. And, is it a buy? Well, the answer here is draw up your bot levels. You know where the 25 level is on the bot. If you've been on the site a while, you should be at least in the level 1 education program. So you should know, and just trade the levels, right? And this is not about opinions. This is about you trading the setup. The setup should be very self-explanatory. All right, second question. Hi, Brian. When using 3-step setup, is it appropriate to use a W or M and an indicator as confirmation as a second reason to begin hunting price structure? Third reason, even if a divergence is not present, if you already have location. If so, would you say a setup without divergence in the indicator is not as strong as just indicator confirmation of the W or M? Very good question. I like to think of divergence as kind of like, how do we say this? It's edge. That's probably the most important thing to think here. Think edge. It's not really necessarily like one approach is righter or wronger than another approach. And as I kind of showed you, I mean, hell, you could have done the 3-step setup. It wouldn't be the best location, but you could say that, you know, a bot setup to a certain degree does meet all the criteria, but the trade location is, this is a trend continuation. 33 to 66 is the appropriate trade location. Keep in mind too, you know, especially if you get to level 3, we're going to teach you some just absolutely crazy trade location tools when we teach you about harmonics and harmonic patterns. So trade location doesn't have to be just reload zones, but it is very handy for you level 1ers just to get into the habit that I want to force myself to buy against bottom ends of the ranges. So think reload zone. And then really the question is if we see a W that happens in a reload zone, thinking like level 1, 3-step setup, is there any more further evidence that we could add to the trade criteria that is just going to simply add to our edge or simply increase the statistical odds that the trade idea does work? That's the whole point of this. It's not really like one is right and one is wrong. That's not what we're going for here. We're going for, you know, when I usually see this happen, that usually happens. So, you know, for instance, the reload zone, W's price structure, you know, key reversal, fractal, signal setup that we have on the system right now, it isn't necessarily asking whether the market's in divergence or not. The W's in the indicators might come in through divergence, right? Like we can even come on here, instead of going all screeners, we'll go, we want, I guess, all location. I guess I would have thought that we would have had it in here, but maybe Stuart hasn't added that in here just yet. The setup, I guess it would be under setup. Where did that go? All setups. Oh, let's see what happens. We don't need that. Let's go like that, and then let's go like that, and then let's go like that. And I have China on here. I mean, how we could do anything. All right, so just finish thinking. All right, so market structures, there's 90-day RLZ with W and W in price. I mean, this W might be a divergence before this W and price come in. It might. But it's not critical that it's divergence. I mean, obviously it adds more edge if we have divergent, totally awesome, but it doesn't have to be a divergence. So I hope that helps explain what I'm saying here. And I mean, just out of curiosity, let's just see what this thing looks like. Oh, it's one of these damn real estate trust units in my country. God. The sad thing is they always say if one particular sector starts outperforming the rest of the economy and actually gets to the point where it's, you know, 2 or 3 times the size of the rest of the sectors, i.e. like 20-30% of the economy, that's trouble. And right now I can totally tell you that Canada right now, under this stupid idiot leader of mine, is like 90% real estate. Everything about our economy is real estate. which is just, that's a potion for disaster. I don't know, who can tell me what does that one candle represent? And if we get a trade above that candle high, hint, 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 look at this candle, look at this candle, look at this candle, holy crap. I mean, everybody, especially anybody who's taken TRI's education program, you know exactly what that candle implies. But also, too, you can see, down, up, down. Oh, are we going to break out here? Can you see how this indicator here made a low here, but did not make a lower low here? But it did make a lower low in price. There's divergence. It wasn't necessarily like the system told you that this was in divergence, but hopefully you can see that, oh yeah, actually the indicators are in divergence. It's not quite a key reversal. Good try. Actually, you know what? No, it isn't, because see how we didn't close above this high. Key reversal, it has to be the two previous bars. So good try, not bad, AMG, but this definitely has a very specific name in candlestick circles. Thank you, Laura. Very good. That's an engulfing candle. Very bullish. If we trade up through that high, that is a huge buy signal. And of course, look at the indicators. They just look absolutely picture perfect. Gotta tell you, man, this system is just fucking incredible. I can't, you know what? I'm almost to the point where I'm like, you know what? We've got enough capital on our own. We don't even need to sell this. Let's just keep it ourselves and let's just trade it ourselves. But having said that, we have a very big staff here at TRI. We have a very big operating budget. I would like to try and keep as many of the sort of niceties of the site, like having Chris here help me do videos and stuff. So, if you can see a way that you can trade this to make money with this system and this signaling system, I request that you help TRI, subscribe. Let's find very good, solid trades like the SHIB and all those other ones, CRO and stuff, that I think you can make some good money on if you happen to trade the stock market. I mean, this stuff, it's this tool is going to help us immensely. I mean, talk about edge. Holy crap. This is the edge of edge. All right. Okay. So hopefully I answered that question. Michael, if you're around, can you let me know whether I actually answered that question for you? I don't know who asked this first one, but I think on balance, we answered these questions fully. What do you think, Chris? Do you think I answered these? All right, cool. All right, I think we're going to leave the broadcast at that. It is 1:04, so not bad. I think we hit the timing window. So PMA for the win. Slow and steady wins the race. Try not to take any wooden nickels. Remember what your number one job is as a trader. I wonder if any of you even know what your number one job is. I would highly encourage as many of you as possible to take advantage of the TRI discounts through this Black Friday window, which is basically closing in about a day and a half. And of course, for lack of a better term, you're also going to be helping TRI continue to, do things like public broadcast for 2-3 hours without having to think about advertising or fuck you, Google, and your stupid censoring and stuff, and demonetizing videos and stuff because I don't look or act the way that they want me to look or act. So if you enjoyed this, if you think you can get some value out of this, I would highly encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity. All right, everybody, all the best. Wish Liam and I luck on the road today. Slow and steady wins the race. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, if anything, can you maybe post a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. And as always, the number one message we've always told everybody is the absolute best thing you could possibly do for us is just simply tell a friend. All right, all the best, and bye for now.